I do not want to work till I'm 50. Some people think I'm crazy. Like, I look back at it now and I'm like, what was I doing?
It's very hard to find on the first try. Like, I interviewed 13 different companies before I decided on one.
For anybody looking to join a team with this amount of mentorship and help and support and accountability, I do not know where else you'll find it, honestly, for free.
We have Karina here, where even though she's a part of my team and we both live in Tucson together, we're actually recording this here in North Carolina.
North Carolina.
She practiced that. So, okay, Karina, this is the end of the almost like first full day of the retreat. And we've had a lot of like team building activities and vision and like business planning, NLP, everything. But I wanted to touch on, like, give the viewers more of a background about you. This whole thing's gonna be about you. We'll start with this. When did you get licensed?
So I got licensed in 2021. It was on 9/11, so I really can't forget the date.
Yeah. And you weren't with us in our crew of 5 Pillars for the whole time. Um, how did you choose the brokerage that you did, and what was that like?
So I was in a small brokerage in Tucson. Small as in one broker, just 2 agents, 1 TC, and 1 photographer/videographer. So we're a pretty small team. When it's that small, you expect everyone to be pretty tight knit. You expect a like positive environment. And so for me, it wasn't all that bad, but I think it just didn't align with like the goals that I wanted. So I figured, when I saw what you were doing in 5 Pillars, I'm like, yo, like that seems like the environment I want to be in, and they're doing the kind of things that I foresee myself doing. So I think like I need to be in an environment where they're doing things that I want to do.
Like what? Like what specifically?
Like investing, acquiring more properties. I don't want to work forever. I do not want to work till I'm 50. Some people think I'm crazy, by thinking that, but that's really only 30 years from now. That's a long time. I don't want to do real estate for 30
Yeah. And neither do I. Like, and we're all on the journey to retire early. And so this is like a cool event where we can all be in person, just like masterminding and sharing ideas. Yeah. So switching your entire, business from one brokerage to another is a lot. And I know that you and I met like quite a few times during that time, and we ran out the math, like I did the math and I showed you the numbers. What were your thoughts then? Like, I don't know. What were your thoughts then?
Well, the first thought, of course, for me was fear. I was like so scared because I was, of course, in a small brokerage where we were actually getting paid a salary, which is not very common. And obviously traditionally people in real estate get paid commission only. So I was getting paid a salary plus a bonus, which I look back at it now, and what my bonus was before is what EXP takes like as part of a 20%, which is like crumbs, I
Wow.
guess. Or
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
not much.
It ain't shit.
It ain't shit. So I think, okay, cool. I was getting paid a salary, but really, like, I look back at it now and I'm like, what was I doing?
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Great start. Nice way to get my foot in the door. I learned a lot. I did in 11 months. But I've learned a lot here in a year.
So would you say because not everyone is at their perfect brokerage, perfect crew, perfect community. And it's very hard to find on the first try. Like, I interviewed 13 different companies before I decided on one. And I decided on the one that was across the country, where we are now, compared to where you and I live. So someone's listening to this and they're not feeling like they're at the right brokerage. The community's not there. They don't get along with their brokerage, or the brokerage favors some agents over others, which is very, very common. Where, the most producing agents are getting all the leads instead of everyone else when they're brand new and they're not even given the opportunity. Or they're given breadcrumbs as a bonus as opposed to making, $1,000 as a bonus for each closing when you could be making 12,000 with Tucson prices. What would you say to them if they're in the same spot but they're too scared to leave because they're on, they have some salary?
I would tell them that like the best rewards are on the other side of fear. So like the best thing to do is just like if you're fearful, then that's when you need to do it because you don't know if you never try, and fear is just a feeling. It's just an emotion that you literally cannot get past because you think like I guess for me in this situation, they always say the grass is not greener on the other side unless you water it. But for me, like, I don't agree with that only because the grass was greener for me. So
Yeah.
just do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It sounds easy to say, but no, seriously, you just got to do it.
Yeah. And I went through somewhat of the same thing, like leaving the W-2 that I had in the military to this unknown of commission. How hard can I work? Really testing yourself. And I feel like that might psychologically like hurt some people too, where like they're in a slash half commission slash half, W-2, and that's hard to move your business. But I think when it's black and white and you see the numbers, because you like when you came to my office, when we spoke about the numbers, like, dude, this is black and white. And we had a couple of calls after that, like, because it's natural to be scared to switch brokerages. So take us to where we are today. You've been with us for how long now? 5 pillars.
So I do want to piggyback off of what you
Oh.
said about moving your business.
Hit it.
So you said that it is harder for people to move their business over when they're switching brokerages. For me, I didn't have a business to roll over. I literally started a business with 5 pillars. So with my previous brokerage, I wasn't running my business. I was running somebody else's business. So to start from scratch, and I didn't interview any brokerages. I only just went with one.
Yeah.
So went with the one, didn't start a business, worked for somebody else's business. Now I'm running my own business.
Yeah. Dude, I never thought about it that way. Yeah, you're totally right. Because you had to release all those names. So, like, it was just, yeah, you left naked.
I started from scratch.
Started from scratch.
Yeah, started from the bottom.
And now you're
I'm
where?
here.
Where are you at now?
So now, I'm in a completely different point in my life. So first, my income has gone up 3 times, which is insane. Never thought that was possible. In the time that I was at my previous brokerage, I thought where I'm at now was going to take me like 5 years. And that was
Wow.
literally something in my head that I told myself, like, it's going to take you 5 years because the first 2 years is rough. It takes a lot to start up your business. I started from scratch. So I'm like, okay, 2 years, that's already like off. And then the next 3 years is like barely starting to get referrals. So in my head, it's like, all right, it's going to take you 5 years to at least make 6 figures. And
Yep.
I never thought 6 figures was possible. I'm like, I'm too young to make that kind of money.
Yeah.
And
wow.
now it's like, oh, you could do that. So now I want to make double that
Yeah.
for next year.
Yeah.
So that's one thing. And my business now is like, it feels like a business.
Yeah. So everything of what you made in your 1 year with your prior brokerage, you made 3 times that amount, 3x the income in your first year with us. And you got rid of the limiting beliefs that you had of the, thinking that you could only make so much because of your age. If you join a brokerage and the top producer is making a certain amount, that's the ceiling, like that's it. If they're, how could you ever think that you can make more than them if all the leads are going to them? That's just how much they're making. And then you'll never, because you're newer, you'll never reach it.
Essentially, I did have a ceiling pretty much because I was only getting paid a salary. And then how many homes I sold, I was getting paid, that base or that fixed bonus. But if I sold 15, it was still that amount. If I sold a $500,000 home, it was still that amount. If I sold a $200,000 home, it was still that amount. So it just never changed. So I felt like, well, how am I ever going to move up or forward if that number's not changing?
Yeah.
and I still have a fixed salary. So it just felt impossible. And when you do the math and you get paid, um, you know, as commission, or when you get paid commission, it's totally different. The numbers are totally different. Um, you just can't compare it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Impossible. Yeah.
like when you said, you are who you hang out with. So, uh, when you think like them, you start to act like them, and it just happens naturally.
So what are your goals for next year, and for like now that you're with us, like you're with like freaking millionaires right now and people that are also on the journey to retire early, like we all are.
Yep.
How have your goals changed?
Well, when you hang out with people like this, you're like, for me, I feel this big. So I'm like, I need to do this much more next year. So for me, my goal this year was 20 homes, and I should be at 18, first month of or first week of December, have a
Nice.
closing. So
Yes.
I'll be at 18. So I'm pretty close to my goal. Not sure that I'll make it, but I'm very close to what I projected. And I 3x'd my like I 3x'd the amount of homes that I closed on last year.
Dang.
So for me, my next goal next year is like, okay, I want to go up to 30.
Yeah.
Let's try 30.
Heck yeah. Oh, you'll blow past that. Yeah. Dude. Awesome. Awesome. So if anyone has any questions that maybe they are going through a similar position of where you were at 2 years ago, how could they get a hold of you if they wanted to ask you questions?
Instagram's best way.
The gram, baby.
Karina Tucson Realtor.
And if you have any questions for me, I am more than happy to also sit down with you, run any numbers, just comparing. I think it is worth the 20 minutes for you to compare to see how much you're making now at your current brokerage to what you could be making with us. It might be a fit, might not be, but I still think it's worth the 20 minutes. Reach out to me, comment below, or shoot me a message on also the gram, Allie the agent. Dude, Karina, you have been an awesome part of the crew. You and I feel like have bonded with all of our transactions that we had, especially in the beginning of this year, dude. It was crazy. So just seeing your growth and like you're 3xing the amount of money you were making, you 3x the amount of transactions, and your plan is just to continue growing. So I've loved seeing your growth, and I love that, like, honestly, like there's no cap to an agent's income with being a part of this crew. Like you can make as much as you want. You can close as many deals as you want, and I take no part of it. Like it's all you. We give you all of us. We give you the resources, the checklist, buyer checklist, seller checklist, referral checklist, canned emails, the scripts, like the free coaching. So I love it, and I love that you're also a sponsor now too. Like with EXP, you have a sponsee, and you've been crushing it there. And no, I love seeing your growth, and I'm glad that you're a part of our crew.
Thank you. Me too. I love it here.
The OG.
And for those of you and for anybody looking to join a team with this amount of mentorship and help and support and accountability, like I do not know where else you'll find it, honestly, for free. People pay big money for this kind of stuff, and we don't.
Yeah. We don't charge a dime.
A dime.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just that
we make you a dime.
Ooh.
How about that?
You are a dime.
Oh.